Hi, I am so glad that you are looking at this beautiful resource, and I am hoping that it will help you make this last week's a little bit easier. So I just kind of want to talk to you about how to do certain things and how to use this resource to its full potential. And obviously, I'm sure you guys are going to come up with a lot of ideas as well as normally when I share resources, people send me messages and then they share with me how they used it in ways I would have never thought possible. So I love to hear those ideas as well. So first, I'm going to show you this is a resource that you can assign your students for the last week of school. Normally, in the last weeks of school, I tend to have just really meaningful discussions about how we have come together and how we have grown in the language, and also just the sense of community, celebrating that sense of community we built throughout the semester. And that is a little bit difficult nowadays with virtual schooling, but it's not to say that it's impossible. So the first thing I want to show you is in this resource, as soon as you read through the terms of use, you can delete that page. And obviously, you can delete all the pages that do not fit what you're doing with your students. You don't have to use the resource as is. It's always your cup because you know your class best. So um, basically, what I would advise that you do in here, it's either you type a message for your students or you link a video and make it like a little TV. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to insert an image. I already screenshotted a recording. So basically, I'm going to go find the image of that screenshot. So I'm going to go to upload from computers, go to my screenshots, and this is my screenshot. As you can see, it's a screenshot of this very same presentation. So I will put it in here. And then basically, once I'm done using recording tools such as Loom or such as Screencastify, which is what I'm using right now, it will give you a link. And what you can do is you can go make sure the picture selected and go right here. And I obviously don't have the link for the presentation yet, so I'm just going to put my blogs page, profesoradelgadillo.com. But you will put whatever link Screencastify gave you um, to access the video that you're going to create for your students. And this video does not have to be 5 minutes long, 3 minutes long. It could be 30 seconds long, just telling your students, each individual class, how much you have enjoyed or things you have enjoyed with them. You can do it in Spanish, you can do it in English. I normally do this type of messages in English, to be honest, because L1 is always going to connect. Heart always connects more to L1. So I usually provide these videos in English for my students. The second thing, so that's how you will put your little camera, and the students will just click in here and they'll immediately access your video. The second thing you can do, 10 adjectives that describe your year in Spanish class. You just have them come up with adjectives. This is more for Spanish 1. Very easy, simple activities. And then they can put a picture of their Bitmoji, of a picture of themselves, and they're even better, so you can see their beautiful faces. Before you close the year. So I think that I want to see my students' faces. So, they'll just attach their picture. They'll remove my Bitmoji and they'll put their picture. And obviously, you can put your own Bitmojis if you're familiar with those through the Bitmoji plugin available for Chrome. And you can just, integrate any Bitmojis you want throughout this presentation. The other slide is very simple. The students are going to reflect on who was their best friend throughout the year. If you can change that, if you don't feel comfortable with any of these headings, you can change them. So if you don't want them to decide who was the best friend, because that might hurt somebody's feeling, feel free to change that for something else that works for your class. Of their friends, who was their best friend, the most organized friend, the most athletic friend, the funniest friend, and the most admirable friend. You can change the categories to fit your needs. And same for things about class. And then if you want to give an opportunity to write, you can. They can do a free write, or they can do a video recording, or they can do both. That's up to you as a teacher how much grading you want to do. And then they will have an opportunity to tell you 3 things they achieved throughout the school year. And they could be in English or in Spanish. We just really want to connect with our students one more time. Now, in slide 8, what you can do is you can help them reflect about their proficiency. I talk to my students about proficiency and what it means to be at each level and what they can do to reach each level. There are wonderful resources out there for you to do that if you haven't done that. If you don't do this currently in the classroom and your students will have no idea what this is, simply delete the slide. But if you do this, have them drag the little star to the level. So if it's a Spanish 1 class and you told them they were going to be reaching novice mid somewhere, have them put their star over there. If Spanish 3 class and the level expected level was going to be intermediate mid, have them put the star in there, and so on and so forth. Also, give them a moment to talk about why they reached the goal or why they didn't. And they will be very honest with you and they will tell you why. I'm always interested in listening to what my students have to say, especially if they take ownership of this process. It's very helpful information and planning in the for future for my classes. And then finally, I have my students in class in a normal closing of a school year write a note with advice for students who are enrolling in the course the next year. So this will be a space where students can write in English to upcoming students, and then next year you can share a slideshow of all of the slides with advice from your previous students with the new students, and also very valuable information. And honestly, doing these types of activities with my students throughout the year helps me put a smile on my face, especially during these times. It's bittersweet to leave. We know that we as teachers love our students and that we are always looking forward to the summer break. There's nothing wrong with enjoying our summer break, but definitely this closing has a different tone to it. But I believe many of these activities over here will assist you in connecting and reminiscing some wonderful memories. Um, I know that when my students are thinking about all the songs they learned, they're going to smile because we had so much fun singing and dancing, and we have so many great memories to remember. And we want to just make sure that we give the students an opportunity to remember the good things from our class. So I hope this activity you find it useful, and let me know your thoughts. You can always tag me on Instagram or you can send me a message and tell me how you're using it. I always love to hear about that. I hope you have a wonderful um, week or time ahead that you have with your classes. Take care.